Twisted Tea. I don't know why. I was just feeling Twisted Tea. They were on sale, actually. So that's what I'm rocking. But what's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday, or as I like to call it, happy New Comic Book Day Eve. Or if you're into Star Trek and, Captain Picard or whatever his name is, Star Wars is on tomorrow. So that's dope, right? I think it's like episode 3 or 4. I can't remember. I haven't watched the show yet, but I'm going to get into it. I promise. Probably this weekend, actually, because Florida Gators are doing terrible. They're not even ranked anymore, so there's no point in watching college football. But anyway, what is going on? I am joined tonight by one amigo. He goes by the name of AKA I just joined YouTube, AKA Rocksteady. What's going on, man?
Not much. How about you?
Just drinking some Twisted Tea and getting ready to talk comics, man.
And Star Wars is Thursday, and She-Hulk is tomorrow?
No.
I have it switched.
Star Wars is Wednesday.
Yeah, you're right.
She-Hulk is Thursday.
I just
sound
you
like my wife.
You say Star Wars instead of Star Trek.
You sound like my wife, by the way. When you said I'm right. So, but what's going on, man? Dude, crazy week. It's crazy how basically in the last 4 hours the comic world has just gone crazy by one character, by like a B-list Canadian character. What are your thoughts really quickly?
I feel like this is when like a big trade happens in sports, and all the media and everybody is just like reposting it, trying to find the earliest news and trying to post it first. It was a shitstorm for like a couple hours there.
I don't like to play this game. I've kind of matured since I've been on YouTube and done Spec, and people who have known me know I kind of do things a little bit differently the past year and a half since my first year, and I could care less who drops things first. But a lot of people were crediting me for showing the video or posting it because I did. But I want to pause. Just hold on a second, people. It is not I. It is none other than 1/5 of the comic kingpins, Mr. Blakk Crown. He was the one that actually sent it to us. And we were talking about it. And then I just posted the video when I saw it on Twitter. So if anything, credit goes to BC. He was the first one I saw. But again, just showing some love. That's all.
Credit to Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, yeah, too. Yeah, big credit to Ryan
now.
Reynolds. Canadian, right? So, yeah. Well, Tuesday, lots to talk about. We got some news. We got some She-Hulk episode 6 to talk about as we gear up to the last 7, 8, 9. So the last 3 episodes in that. Still no Daredevil, which is okay because it's not a Daredevil show. It is She-Hulk show. So that's okay. But we're gonna get into some She-Hulk, some news because New York Comic Con is just around the corner, and I don't want to confuse my American amigos. But Thanksgiving is also coming up for us in Canada, which is next weekend. So that's going to be big. I also have an announcement to make at the end because me and Just Cruise have something fun planned for this Sunday. So hopefully locals can come. And Greg, you got some big news, man. I don't know if you want to tell it now or you want to wait till the end. But do you want to let people know, or what's the deal?
Well, we'll just start with one of the ideas, I guess. So I'm going to be hopefully dropping weekly YouTube shows. I dropped one last week. It's going to be called Slabs and Grabs. It's just going to be a quick video replaying what I grabbed from the week, kind of a show and tell, and then hopefully more news to come after that.
Perfect. Yeah. If you guys don't know, Greg, aka Mr. Rocksteady, aka Mr. Western Canada, aka I'm going to take all the good books that are $1 and then just flip them like crazy. You got your own YouTube channel, man. So that's fun, dude. I remember starting my own. It's fun. It's a way to escape. It's my little hangout. So congratulations, dude. I subbed up. I think I was sub number 2 or 3. I can't remember.
It's strange when you're talking to yourself in a video versus chatting like we're doing. This is all I know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So super interesting. I'm excited for it though.
Yeah, it's fun, dude. Especially like when you're doing the edits and stuff like that, and you see growth and stuff. So anything I can do to help that channel grow, man, let me know. But congratulations. Welcome officially to your own YouTube world, brother.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Let's not get emotional, though, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. New Comic Book Day. Here we go. First up, Newbie Comics. You cannot win the gold medal, man. You're selfish. That's selfish. So we're going to give, in great spirit, we're going to give Mr. RP the gold medal. What's going on, RP? Mr. Blakk Crown. Fuck that. That's not how you say it in French, BC. Mr. Quebec over there. RP is definitely getting the gold. Blakk Crown is getting silver. Mr. Dan De La Torre taking home the bronze. Sorry, sir.
What's slipping?
Ooh, Dan, you're slipping. 2 Canadians made it for a medal, so that's great. Neighbor to the north, bronze for Canada. Kingpins are ineligible. Whoa. I mean, come on. Let's be nice. But Mr. Neighbor to the north, what's going on, sir? Just Cruz. Newbie Comics camping out to be the first in line like he's waiting for the newest Jordan Off-Whites to drop. Yeah, I've been in those lines before, man. Been in those lines before. RP, if you're headed to the Mississauga show this Sunday, guess what? I got news for you, but I'll let you know at the end of the show. Mr. Wesley Comics. Yo, been a while since I caught a newbie show. What is going on, sir? Wesley, I hope you make it this Sunday, dude. I hope to stop by the show before concert. Wesley is like Carmen Sandiego. He is like everywhere. Always somewhere. He's everywhere. You can never find him. He's at concerts. Like he lives an interesting life, man. I'm a little jealous. I am very jealous. Let's see here. Who else we got? We got the Comic Kingpins officially in the house. What's going on? We got TK Collectibles. Sure, it will be a very quick cameo. I think they're talking about the Deadpool and that other CD list character that's supposedly showing up. Oh, some people are probably like, but don't worry, people. I'm a Wolverine fan too. I got the book right there. It's got to be more than the cardboard cutout of Hugh. Yeah, for sure. Mr. Michael Baker's in the house. Damn, I'm late as hell. Been watching the Deadpool 3 trailer. Going to be a long 2 years. You're damn right. It's going to be a long 2 years. Mr. Peter's in the house. What's going on, dude? How you doing? I heard Deadpool is going to be in Deadpool 3. Oh, shit. I think dude, is that expensive book? Maybe we should be specking on it. I might bring newbie spec of the week and start talking about that book, man. I don't know. Can't wait for this Rocksteady live stream. Finally, some decent content.
Thanks, Peter.
Come on, guys. Come on. Peter, I hope to see you on Sunday, man. It's going to be a good show. Sam Rock is in the house. What's going on? Newbie Comics. Who is this Deadpool you speak of? Right? I don't know. It's all these crazy youth kids and youngins. Hey, y'all, Mr. Rock or Hard Knocks. Our chemist is in the house. So yeah, there's quite a few. Kenneth is in here. Uncanny X Dan is in here. So yeah, we got lots of people. Nemesis Prime Rocksteady has the hottest new channel on the planet.
It's true.
Yeah. Until we all go to Mars, then what?
Also check out my OnlyFans. I mean my OnlyFan.
That's a great name there. AOA, what is going on? All right, so let's get it started, man. I see in the chat, I mean, a lot of people are talking about the Deadpool Wolverine. We'll get into that at the end of the show. Obviously, the news just broke around like 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, so we didn't really prepare for it. So we'll get on with the show. And yeah, man, I'm excited, dude. I'm looking forward to this. Boom. All right, Greg. I usually ask everybody, but big week, light week, heavy week, medium week. What are your thoughts on New Comic Book Day?
Medium week, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a few goodies, right?
Yeah, I'm not blown away, but there's some gems and I think possibly some sleepers.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a sleeper. Mr. AOA, Canadian comic content time. We're the CCC, place to be. I don't know how to rhyme or rap, so I'm going to stop right there.
The CCC.
I don't think I can make it this Sunday. Unfortunately, plans already. Dude, just use the COVID card. Just be like, I got COVID, and then just come. Grab those Dr. Aphra 24s. I think it's the first appearance of the Dark Seekers or the Seekers or something like that, if I'm paying attention. I don't know. But that's a good one. I'm only grabbing... I'm not even saying that name because I'll butcher it. But anyway. All right, Greg, you ready to start the show?
Let's roll.
All right, dude. Let's roll. All right, first up, we got some channel sponsors and good friend of the show. You can catch him doing live shows from the booth in Turner Crest Flea Market. But it is none other than Mr. Bleeker St Comics, $10 a press, $5 a clean. Make sure you guys go check him out. He's got a lot of great stuff. And as always, if you're in the Southern Ontario area near the flea market, he's the guy you want to go check out, man. And of course, another friend and channel sponsor of the channel, we got Back in Time Comics. Mr. Brandon does a lot of good stuff. Go follow him on Instagram, Facebook, CGC authorized dealer. He takes care of everybody. He just redid his store. He's got a third floor. He's got Magic the Gathering. He's got a bunch of stuff, man. Go check out Back in Time Comics. Tell him Newbie sent you. All right. New comic book day. Let's rock and roll. Mr. Comic Ozzy's in the house. What's going on, dude? How you doing? Ozzy. All right. New comic book day. And we're starting off with Dark Spaces Wildfire. This is the second print to #1. A lot of people kind of slept on the first print. Greg, I know how much you love the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Wait, this isn't Something That's Killing the Children, but you like those later printings, man. What do you think about this one, and are you picking it up?
I do like later printings, but I don't think enough people ordered #1, so I think it's sold out. So I think shops compensated by ordering the second printing. So I don't think this is going to be one of the really hard to find second prints. But I do like this story, and with everything that's going on in the world, like so much more relevant, right? I really like how comics change with the way the world does, and whether it be politics or environmental, like this one, like forest fires. We get smoked out in Edmonton here from forest fires in BC, or Saskatchewan. So yeah, I think it's a great idea, a great concept, and Scott Snyder can't go wrong.
Yeah. And let's be honest. I mean, it is a great art piece. It is a great cover. I like the colors. I've always said that. Just like those vibrant colors. So yeah, but it is always interesting too, Greg, when we look at certain things, right? I mean, you can go from opposite spectrums, right? People are they go after things that are relatable to them, but they also go after things that aren't relatable to them, right? So like Iron Man for me, I can't relate to a billionaire who could just do anything and is super smart and savvy like that. And I like it, but I also like other stuff that's actually relatable to me as well, right? So double standard here, but this is definitely a good pick. I'm not sure, Greg, if this is going to be as easy as you think it's going to be to get. I think this one might be a little bit harder, especially around my area, because a lot of shops around here, the later printings, they don't touch them or order them unless you specifically say so. So that's always why it's hard. The Edge of Spider-Verse ones, super hard to come by around here, man. Like people are paying like $20 a book for that one.
Yeah, I guess it's regional as well. And online, I find second prints seem to linger a lot longer than in the stores.
Big time. But ever since we had that conversation back in June about the later printings and how you kind of do your thing, I've kind of always been on the lookout and kind of do my homework with that. So thank you, sir.
Right on.
All right. This one came out today. Are we just running out of titles for fucking Batman? Like I really, like when I saw this, I was like dying laughing and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? But we got Batman, the Audio Adventures. It's a #1. I'm skipping. I don't care about it. Unless somebody can tell me that this is selling for $50, I probably won't touch it. But yeah, what are we doing with Batman here?
Batman Audio Adventures in print, right? It's just really weird. I saw a meme today, and it was something like, "Oh yeah, prove you're a DC fan. Name half the DC comic book storylines," and the person was just like, "Batman."
Checkmate, sir. Checkmate.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. I'm not really into it. I know there's a few people that are like, come on, just get into some Batman. But like, let's be real. If you go back to like, you don't even have to go back 18 months. You could just go back maybe 5, 6, 7 months and you have so many stories of Batman. I get it. He's iconic character. Sorry, but like, my God, like just make one story good. That's all I'm saying.
Batman has his fans, and he's had good stories, but I agree with you. Like, simmer, don't push it. Let it happen more organically.
Exactly. Like, and we all know Iron Man over Batman any day. Fight me on that. All right. I put this one up just simply because I kind of like the cover. I am very biased when it comes to the black, but it is also a sweet Miles Morales cover. It's from Miles Morales 42. I got to be honest with you, Greg. If it didn't say Miles Morales Spider-Man, it was just a virgin, I think this would be dope. I'm not sure if there is a virgin, but this one just kind of has that special vibe. I could totally maybe see this being a $10 book. I don't know. Something about this. I don't think it will be, but I could also see it. So like I'm kind of contradicting myself. I don't know. I just think it's a great cover buy. Solely cover buy for me.
I'm wondering if they do a play with 42. So 42 was the spider who bit Miles. It's shown up a couple other times in comics like the number. When they had issue 23, there was some Michael Jordan variants. So I'm wondering if they pick up on that 42. It is in the description, but we'll see how that transfers over. But, Miles books, if you go to your shops there, I don't know what it's like, but here, like, you might get 3 issues back and then just nothing for Miles books. I don't think you can go wrong with it because I feel like Spider-Man books will almost always sell for cover.
Yeah.
So if you're even just speculating, wondering what to grab, I don't see any issues with this. Decent story, too. It's been good.
Yeah, but like when I was going through this, like obviously I've always been very open. Like the art is usually what catches me first, and that's what it should catch everybody else, I guess. But yeah, it really just kind of spoke to me. I love the all black, the all white, the all red cover, so I'm a little bit biased when it comes to this. But when I saw it right off the bat, I'm like, ooh, that's a pretty cool cover. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm with Art Chemist though. I hate this costume. I can't get over the turtleneck. Yeah, it's got a weird vibe. I don't know. It's not for me, but I ordered one just for the sake of the cover, like I said. So if this becomes something great, if not, whatever. Just like you said, Greg, is going to have possibly the spider that bit him, and we'll see what happens there. So I'm looking forward to it.
I also can't believe we're at issue 42 already.
Yeah,
like,
that came
this
up
is volume quick. 4 of Miles Morales, or like solo series. And we're at issue 42. Like, we're pushing on.
Supposedly he's good. I don't know. We'll see. All right. We had to talk about this one. So we got the Avengers. So this one is what? Iron Man, or no, what's the title? I can't even remember.
Judgment Day, or
I don't know if it's Judgment Day. I think it's like Avengers X. I don't know. Somebody will correct me in the chat. But anyway, Iron Man gets to debut on the cover of issue 1, and the salutation. I mean, come on. Tony Stark has spent his entire life building suits to protect him. Now he has to enter a suit of armor that could kill us all. What? Can he survive? What? Can anyone? What? Like, this is just crazy. The only thing is, and I said it, I think last week's show or the week after, and like when we came back, I'm not digging this like logo that they did for like Judgment Day, and I think the X-Men, and now we have it in the Avengers. Like, I just don't like the
it looks like it should be on a wedding invitation.
Yeah, something. It just seems off to me. I don't like it. So I don't know. I don't think that there's going to be a shortage of these. So if I change my mind about reading it or getting it, we'll see. But yeah, I'm kind of just passing on this. I don't get anything and everything that's Iron Man. I just get things that I like. So what are your thoughts?
I'm just worried his ears are going to get frostbite.
Come on, man. Captain America would be better on that cover. Wesley, get out. Come back when you have some respect. Come on now. Are you picking this up?
No.
Moving along.
Yeah.
Greg, you were talking about this one. So this is the first appearance of Chimera.
Chimera.
Chimera. Yeah, so it's first cover, first appearance. I don't know if it's origin, but we also she's in her own, so it kind of looks like a design variant. It's a $5.99. I'm not sure if it's a ratio. It could be, but yeah, first appearance in this book. This one, surprisingly, is not $9.99. It's just $5.99. So that's kind of good, because we were kind of talking about how some of these tend to be up on that upper echelon on price. I could make a play at this for $5.99. What are your thoughts? And because you were on it, are you getting a lot of these?
I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered one of each of the covers, but then I'll see if I can get some more B covers. Maybe 2 or 3. I think first appearance, like, it might be something, it might not. At least they're not the $9.99 like you were saying. But those $9.99 books, I think, are pretty good plays, because I can't imagine a lot of shops ordering a ton of them, especially without any ratio incentives or anything like that, retailer incentives. Yeah, I like this book. I don't know anything about her, what's going on. I think we're gonna have to see. Hopefully, somebody can get their hands on one tonight and let us know.
Let us know. Yeah, $5.99. I mean, I'll make a play on it, but I'm not chasing after it. I'm still chasing after that Tales of Suspense, so we'll see. All right. 2 of the bigger books this week. Grimm 5 finally coming to an end, right? So the truth behind Jessica's mysterious death and her connection to the Grim Reaper is finally revealed. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, I figured we all thought that was gonna be coming, but this has been a great read, great story. Love the art. Every cover they've done, I've digged it. I've loved it. I've got one of each coming this week. This series, it's been weird, man. The last like 6-7 months, Newbie's been like reading and like completing these mini series, so it's kind of weird. I feel like I don't know myself, but I'm really digging the story, and it's finally coming to an end for now, right?
Yeah. So Grimm has had a pretty good following. Number one was, I don't think it was short ordered, but there was definitely more demand than there was supply, and then we had some later printings of it. Very cool story, well written, great art, can't go wrong. I think 5 is going to be pretty plentiful. I don't think it's going to be a first day sellout or anything, but that's where you're going to want to look for later printings of these later issues, I think.
4, I think 4 has the second print come out as well, right?
Yeah.
4 or 3 comes out. I can't remember.
I think it's 4 already.
4? Yeah, I would be on the lookout for that one.
Yeah, so some of these I think might be better plays. Even if you're just reading the story, then it doesn't matter which print you get either. But yeah, I like Grimm.
Probably the book of the week, Greg. And I was wishing that maybe like Justin or BC would be on the show, but because they've talked about it. I actually talked about it on the Comic-Con podcast when I was a guest the last time. Big shout outs to them, by the way. But Briar, the brutal, sleepy, what is it? Sleeping Beauty world that they're building. I kind of like this whole darkness thing they go to. I think even on the Comic-Con podcast show, I talked about how Magnificent. No, what's the movie with Angelina Jolie? Maleficent. I loved that take on it. I really did. I like the darkness and kind of the things they did. So I'm kind of looking forward to them kind of doing this. I actually am excited to let you guys know. And I don't know if like it's not clouding or anything like that. I just found out what clouding was. I'm not showing off. But I was able to get a 1 in 25 for this. So I'm actually pretty happy because I got a cover A. I got the Stephanie Hans variant, and then I got the 1 in 25. So I'm actually pretty happy with the ones that I picked up. So yeah. How many did you get? Are did you stack it? Are you just going after the read? What are your thoughts here on this book? And do you agree it's probably going to be the book of the week?
I think it's going to be the book of the week. I think the 1 in 25 is going to be the book of the week as well. Yeah, I got one of the A cover, I'm pretty sure. Boom just is killing it, man. Like, compared to Image, compared to all these, like...
Dark Horse.
They produce so less titles than those other publishers, but the amount of bangers they have, like, per capita or whatever you want to call it, is pretty incredible. They did the reimaginate, like, what was that, Nottingham, and they've done some other fairy tales recently with a different spin. Really good results on those. I'm excited. I think this should be a good read. And I think, spec play wise, not bad.
So I'm getting that 1 in 25 and I'm getting it pressed and it is going off the CGC like ASAP. I really dig it. I really like it. I like these darker takes on some of this stuff. Like I've been very vocal about how they did Joker. I wish they would do one like Mr. Freeze, Riddler. I know it's different, but I just like these dark takes on certain tales that we kind of just grown up on, right? So I'm digging it. I can't wait. Honestly, I thought today was Wednesday, to be honest with you guys. I was like about to like take a break at work to go like get my books. And then I had to remind myself as I was walking down the hall, I'm like, wait a minute, it's Tuesday. And I had to remind myself that I didn't get anything DC. So I had to just stop and go back. So yeah, tomorrow I can't wait, man. I'm really looking forward to that 1 in 25. So we'll see. But definitely, Greg, I can definitely see this one especially the 1 in 25 being on cover price, probably a top. Well, they're doing the top 20 now, so I can definitely see it being on the top 20 for sure.
Interesting.
All right. This is why you're here, people.
Dynamite
pick of the week. And this one might basically piss off the whole world. The whole world. Dan, you're not going to like this one. BC, you're not going to like this one.
She's bald for sure.
Tim, you're not going to. What did you say?
Is she going to be bald? Because you're not appealing to the redhead community. You're not appealing to.
Listen, I'm not just all about redheads, okay? That's not what I'm all about, okay? But the Dynamite pick of the week, and if you're new to the channel, this is just a book that I say we, but it's really me. Just pick out basically just a great cover by. Realistically, if there's something in it, I'll take the credit, I guess. But it's just literally just an art piece. We just want to. As we do it for more fun, we're just showing some love to Dynamite because they put out so much content and we don't have time to do a 4-hour YouTube video show. So Dynamite pick of the week this week is, I'll tell you this though, Greg, it is a $50 book. I also think that
who buys those?
Yo, listen, I also think it's a biased pick because I actually just watched this movie the other day with my wife. So Dynamite pick of the week is 007 number 2. Cover I, the Edwards cover, the limited version, and it is a $50 one. I don't know why I like this. I just like it. I don't know why, but this one.
Okay, question for you.
Yes.
Do you think any of these like 50 or expensive books ever go completely unordered?
Big time.
Like no, like I mean zero. Do you think there's ever been an instance where like nobody's ordered one of these $50 or $80 books?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of them, but like I'd be interested to see how many of these like census pit, like on the census or how many copies are done. Like I'd always be interested, but then I'm like, nah, I could care less. Like it's Dynamite.
I don't know if there's a way to know.
Yeah, I don't know. Boobies or bust. The fuck? Boo. I think you're saying Boo Earns, right? Boo Earns. Holy shit. Newbie's growing up. I mean, I got some gray in my hair.
Or maybe his tastes are changing.
I don't know, man. I could totally see this. Actually, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I could totally see this being like a big ass like portrait that's like in one of my hallways downstairs or something. Like it just has that vibe. So I think my artistic section of my brain kind of spoke to this one more than like boobs. But yeah, Dynamite pick of the week. Either that or his wife is watching over his shoulder. My wife is chill. She doesn't care. Trust me.
His wife's Dynamite pick of the week. You can get her to pick a cover.
Oh God, Jesus. Yeah, she'd be like, I don't know this. Is it stupid? I don't know. And then she'd probably just like walk away.
But there's no boobies.
It's okay. She'd be like, why are all these covers like with boobs? It's Dynamite. So, all right, comic news. We got some good ones. I think a lot of people are just forgetting that things are happening. I think we're too focused on Deadpool and Wolverine, I guess. But first up, I've been told by my secretary of the show, she handed me something. She said that this guy is an important figure in comics and in pop culture, but I guess this guy is done voicing it, and he's actually sold the rights back to who owns it? Disney, I guess.
Not the rights. He basically gave them permission to use his voice forever.
How much
because what could happen is
I don't know any of that.
So that could get like, if he's older and if it ever gets to that point, there could be an issue with estate and rights, and it might be all hung up and they might not be able to use his voice if need be. He is ensured that for the future, they can always use the same voice for this actor. So I think it's really cool that they sorted that out.
Payday for sure.
Oh, for sure. But like, how long has this guy been getting a payday from Lucasfilm, right?
I mean, his big role was Mustafa. So I think a lot of people forget that, right? I mean,
but even think like
Mustafa.
A lot of stuff. You'd be surprised.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Documentaries, you name it.
Field of Dreams. He was in Big Bang. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. But yeah, no. And I kid, obviously. So if you're new to the show or watching on the rewind, like I just tease about the Star Wars. Don't get mad or start throwing eggs at my house. First of all, you probably aren't hitting my house. You probably don't even know where I live, so
DM me for that.
Yeah, but no, this is pretty big, and I was actually surprised that more Star Wars people weren't like more pumped about it. It was just kind of like, oh, cool, and then we were like, all right, what's next?
Well, I think it's something we never thought about, right? Like what would happen. So I don't know if it was more pumped or it was like, oh man, and then but like instant relief at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I think if we had heard opposite, hey, you can't, like he's saying, you can't use the voice anymore, then I think it would be a big deal. But people didn't. Yeah, they didn't think about this.
Yeah,
and they just took it for granted, probably.
Big time, like we all do.
Yeah.
All right. Marvel confirms arrival of Mephisto. Now, slow down, ladies and gentlemen. There's 3 dots, which means there's more to the story. But as a Marvel Legends action figure, I don't care what anybody says. There's shows where people will, especially in sports, they'll be like, hey, this player dressed in red, is this something where he's like going to go to this team or is it nothing, right? I don't care what you say. And I know we joke, and I know it's like probably the longest running meme. Anytime there's a show or a movie, anything, everyone's like Mephisto, right? And we all joke. I do it. But I think this is something. I really do. I think Mephisto is eventually going to come. I don't care about that China and the Asian thing. They can't show it. I think they're just like, you know what? Forget it. Look at what the NBA did. So I don't know. I really do think that Mephisto's coming. I think it's going to come at an unexpected show. I think when we least expect it. But I think this is something. I'm not crazy about Silver Surfer 3. I could care less about having Mephisto in my my collection. There's been a lot of peaks the last year and a half, 2 years, but I do think he's coming. And the fact that they're doing this just goes to show you that he's coming.
I don't know if that's the case. So Marvel Legends comes out with a series.
Are you disagreeing with me on my own show?
Sorry, man.
Jesus.
I have my own channel now.
You're still Hollywood. You've changed. You've changed.
So they come out with like a series. I think it's 6 or 7 figures, and each figure, 6-inch figure, comes with a build-a-piece figure. You put these build-a-piece figures, and it creates a larger figure. And basically, that's how Marvel Legends work. They've come out with series like they did with Thor, or they have with Shang-Chi or whatever. But with some of the lines, they also tack on 1 or 2 extra characters as well. So this could be the case. I think there was some hype back. I forget what line it was, but it was this year. And they came out with some extra figures in the line, and everybody got all hyped up about it, and it never happened. I'm not saying that it won't happen, but I'm just not saying it's a slam dunk.
Well, I'm just saying, the people that are like, oh, it's essentially the devil, which he is, and this and that, and they can't use it. I think that this could be just testing the waters, but I do think that eventually he would come. I just don't care about the book or the spec. I know I talk a lot about like meat on the bone and certain stuff. I just don't care to have that book in general. I could care less about it. I could care less about this character. So yeah, for those reasons. But I do think, I think this character, this figure could actually be worth something down the road, right? Because it is the devil, and it's one of those characters that's like, no, we can't use it, blah 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 blah. And yeah, Peter, you're actually right. It was the Sleepwalker figure.
Yeah, Sleepwalker. Yeah,
we all fell victim to that one.
So yeah, but with those figures, Mephisto hasn't. So they've produced many figures. Say Iron Man, they've done all the suits. They've done different versions of Iron Man. Captain America, they've done different versions, movie, whatever. Mephisto isn't one that has been produced a bunch.
Never heard.
I think maybe there's 2 or 3. I think there was in the old style Toy Biz. I'm not sure if he has one in the new Hasbro Legends series. So value-wise, it goes to people who want them on their shelves, and there aren't that many versions of a character where you can just supplement it in or out. So is this one a little bit better spec than some of the other ones? Probably.
What'd you say to me?
Whoa.
What'd you say to me? Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I will say, Chris, Evan Peters, and Greg, correct me if I'm wrong. He's the guy that's playing Jeffrey Dahmer in that Netflix series that everyone's talking about, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I watched it. I watched 1 episode of that, and I got home from work. My wife was watching it, so I was like, what is this? Because like, she's a woman, so all women watch are those like crime fighting and those like serial killer things. And I'm just like, okay, you better know how to like run away from a killer after watching all this shit. But yeah, I watched it like first episode, like I was kind of like half in, and I was like, what the hell is this? It was pretty good, and everybody's talking about it. So yeah, if Evan Peters is playing it, cool.
There's a Jeffrey Dahmer comic book.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was Mr. Boner. That's who he was. Right. Mephisto 70% in Agatha series is my guess. My guess is he's going to show up when we least expect it. That the Agatha show is something that I'd be like, no, I would feel it. I would look at something like, I don't know.
My guess is we've already seen Mephisto and we just don't
know. Secret Invasion, no. Agatha, no. Like I just think
Halloween would be a pretty good time to drop a Mephisto.
I don't see it, but we'll see. All right. This one, again, slipping through the cracks here. Why? Because of that 6-letter word. So, Black Panther Forever star, who is playing Mr. Namor, Mr. Submariner, reveals that Namor will be a mutant. Let's go back. He says and reveals that Namor will be a mutant. How are light bulbs not going off? Frankly, let me rephrase that. How is GSX, Giant Size X-Men 1, not flying off the shelves? How is X-Men 1 not flying off the shelves right now? I get that they're expensive books, but man, this is huge news, especially because people went goo goo gaga after Miss Marvel when they had that X-Men and they said it was like a mutation. And here we have Mr. Namor saying, hey, yeah, my character's a mutant. I think that's huge for X-Men and all that. What are your thoughts here, man? Is it something, nothing? Like, I think this is just something that fell through the cracks, man. Like, how are we not more pumped about like mutant shit?
I think it's another one of those things where it's expected, right? So I think some books come out of left field.
But the John Cena effect that I always talk about, right?
But X-Men is inevitable. They're so big that it's inevitable. Like there's no way. Exactly.
When you say that word, you have to say it with the Iron Man snap, man.
It's like Miles Morales. When they announce a Miles Morales live action, I don't expect huge spikes because it's inevitable. Same with Spider-Gwen, some of these characters. I think we knew Namor was a mutant. I think it was a big surprise when Miss Marvel was a mutant. But now Namor will always be the second mutant in MCU.
Depending on the timeline.
Yeah.
Right. But again, from like, and not just a speculator standpoint, but like just a standpoint of, wanting mutants and wanting X-Men and wanting this and that. Like, I was just surprised that people weren't more like, I was having conversations with somebody sending this to people and they're like, oh, cool. And then they'd go on to be like, yeah, so I bought a Funko Pop. And I'm like, did you not just read what I sent you? Like,
but that's what I mean. Whereas like X-Men 1 and Giant Size are blue chips. Like everybody knows what they are. So with people who are in the market, I think this just reinforces it more than anything and puts those values like that X-Men are not going anywhere and they are here to stay. So I don't expect big spikes, but that GSX and number one, they're just going to keep going up and keep going up and keep going up. You hold on to it for 3 or 4 years, that's where you're going to make a ton of money. You're not going to make big money in a month's period kind of thing.
Yeah. I also will like to remind everybody that I have a GSX1, Giant Size X-Men 1, CGC 5.5 for sale. So if you're interested, let me know because I really need to. I want to sell that book so I can go buy a Tales Spence 39. Okay. So if you're interested, let me know.
And it's a nice looking copy too.
It is. It really is.
Not to float your own boat there, but yeah, it really is.
Will the MCU population hate mutants right off the bat, or is there going to be hate lore? I think. When is that animated series coming? X-Men 92. When is that coming? This
year.
Next year.
Is it this year? X-Men.
For whatever reason, I thought it was this fall, but it could be next year. I think that's going to get a lot of people back in love with X-Men and mutants. I think that's going to be the driving force. And yeah, I don't know. I think there's just a love with X-Men, but I think we're going to be surprised at what team they use. I think we're going to be surprised at some of the legal battles and names that they can use. We're still going to be waiting a while. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. Can't please everybody. They might have a new character in the group. They might have a character nobody likes, maybe a way left field sleeper pick as one of the characters, and you're just going to have to live with it. But
I
nobody
like
likes
that they're doing the cartoon first, simply because there's been a whole generation that hasn't really been introduced to X-Men. If you think about it, like the people or the kids who are growing up on Miles and Spider-Gwen and even Iron Man and Spidey and Friends and all that stuff, right? Like there's a lack of X-Men there for how important they are in the Marvel universe. So I think this cartoon is super important. I don't know if it's going to get the collectors more hype, but it's going to bring more collectors to the X-Men world.
Yeah, I think with GSX, like you're absolutely right, Jonathan. I got one just basically for investment reasons. Like 2-3 years ago, it was just dirt cheap, so I took a gamble on it. But yeah, now I'm trying to sell it. Like I said, to get to that Tales of Suspense 39, I kind of feel like I need my Grail in my collection. And that book is probably gonna get me there a little bit quicker. But yeah, definitely.
But that's what I mean. A book like that you hold for 2 to 3 years, or 3 to 4, like, or longer, and that's where you're going to make your money on it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you did well on it, and now is a great time to buy as well.
Yeah.
So
buy mine. God damn it.
To get in on that book.
Buy mine.
Big books. Get your Grails now. Like I think you're doing it right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Some of the I want to say goodbye to the video games. Say goodbye to Super Mario comic books, ladies and gentlemen, because it is going to be game over next week. It has already been released that Super Mario movie's first trailer starring Chris Pratt, iconic character. It's animated, but you also have a big voice, big actor, A-list celebrity on as the character. We already knew this, but it's finally happening. We're going to get the trailer at New York Comic-Con. It's going to be dropped there. I think the people have been picking up those Super Mario comic books, and they've been going for crazy prices the last year. They keep going up. There's nostalgia. The video game market is different, and a lot of people who grew up on the Mario, myself included, would love to have those books. I regret not getting them, say, a year ago when they were fairly cheap. But a lot of these are probably going to be, kind of gone for a little bit, because I do think it's going to be a success, and I do think that is just it's got the star power. It's got everything you want. And I think it's going to hit on a lot of nostalgia strings, and a lot of the video game stuff is just going to pop after this. I think a lot of those video game stuff is just going to pop in the next couple of years, man. And if you've been watching certain people in the last couple, I'd say maybe like 10 to 14, 16 months, a lot of them have been picking up these video game stuff. I think it's going to be time where a lot of these are going to be expensive, man. So what are your thoughts? You excited for this?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm worried, like, I hope they don't drop the ball on it, because Mario is such an iconic character. But Mario is one of the biggest brands out there. You know what I mean? Already. So this should only reinforce it. As far as the comic books go, they weren't collected and put away like some of the other blue chip, because people didn't think they were going to be worth anything. Yep. So there's less in super high grade. There might be a few out there, but less in super high grade for sure. I don't think a movie will do as much for Mario as like a live action Zelda movie would do for a Zelda book, because Mario is more of a universe as opposed to an individual character, even though he is. Whereas like Zelda is that main focus.
Where I say the video game, I just think that this is probably going to get people like itching more to kind of like, okay, if like this was good, so I'm gonna go to Zelda. Oh, okay, I'm not gonna stop there. I'm gonna go here. So like, I just feel like this genre of comic books for like say video games, I think we're gonna reach another level. And I think
totally.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I was going with that.
It's the cross genres too, where you have video game collectors who want to get things associated with it, or you have like comic collectors who want to get the video games and the toys, right? Or you have toy collectors who want to get the comics and video games, or whatever, vice versa, kind of order you put that in. So I love these cross genre areas. And yeah, I do think video game books are certainly picking up. They're hitting the feels. The people who played the video games are starting to have disposable cash.
Dude, I remember coming to Canada in 93 or 94. I think it was 93, in October of 93. And we didn't really have money, right? If you're an immigrant, you kind of know. So yeah, we came here with nothing. We were living in a duplex. My uncle and aunt were living upstairs with their 3 kids, and then it was me, my sister, my parents downstairs. And my parents did not have money. Like, we came to Canada, my parents were working like 2-3 jobs, and Christmas came, and it was such a culture shock because back when we came to Canada, if you don't believe in global warming, here's a lesson for you. Back in Halloween, like my first 2 Halloweens here, like it was a snowstorm. Like there was snow, like up to your knees. Like you went trick or treating in like snow pants, right? So it's like really crazy nowadays because you see people like in shorts and t-shirt, and it's just like, what? But anyway, that Christmas, our first Christmas, the hottest thing for kids was Super Nintendo, and we were actually my parents were actually able to buy me one.
That's huge.
As like, yeah, like, you know, not even like, you know, like they didn't have their feet in the ground yet, and that they didn't have a buck to their, you know, in their wallet, and they went out and did that for me, and we played that literally like as a family and by myself or with my cousin for like ever, man. Like just the nostalgia feel that had, you know, Super Nintendo, Super Mario, it was just crazy. Like to this day, you know, I'm 35, I have stories with my mom and my aunt about the game, you know what I mean? Like, so it is one of those nostalgia things. So totally. Definitely.
And that's how I am with Ninja Turtles and why I'm into Ninja Turtles. And I think that's the beauty of collecting, is collect what means to you, right? Mm-hmm. Just get the cool shit and just collect what you like.
Dude, that's why, like, and I think you were maybe surprised a little bit too. I know Justin was, but like the Felix the Cat stuff, like there's Felix the Cat stuff that I'm going after, and people are like, well, why? What is that? There's no spec in that. It's like, dude, not everything that I do is spec related. There's shit that I like that I want, right? So yeah, it's just gonna be interesting. Like I said, I'm a little pissed off at myself for not getting some of this Super Mario comic stuff, say like a year ago. I just it kind of fell into that category of like, and Greg, you know me, you know this, we've talked about this. I'll buy it later. I'll get it later. I'll get it like just before it pops, right? Yeah. And then it's like,
and then $2 $40 gas trips and all that later to save $10.
Yeah, you're sometimes like, shit.
You know what? If there's something you like, don't be scared to pay fair market value. Support your LCS. You know, that kind of stuff. And just, if it's worth it to you, even if it's $1 more than you could get it on eBay, if it's worth it to you, just buy it.
If not, like take out all your life savings, go to a con where they have an exclusive. Don't sleep for 3 days. Make sure you're in line at 4 a.m. Buy all of them, flip them all, and then you'll be set. You could do that.
Either or.
Just saying, do that if you want. All right, big news. This was my big news. I should have had like a drum roll or something, but big news. This Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, me and Mr. Just Cruz, we will be at the Mississauga Comic Book Show. This will be my second time as a vendor. This will be my 6th or 7th time attending overall, but it's going to be a fun time. So this Sunday, October 2nd, 2022, in the Hilton, Mississauga area. If you're American and want to come, I mean, if you are just driving distance from the border, come on down, man. It's literally an hour from the border. But if not, if you're in the area visiting Toronto, Niagara Falls, whatever, come stop by. Come stop by. It's going to be a good show. A lot of good people, a lot of good vendors. But I'm excited, man. The first time I was a vendor, I had a lot of fun. This time is going to be no different. I'm probably going to have like 30 slabs there. So it's going to be a fun time. And I get to hang out with my guy, my buddy, Mr. Just Cruz. So it's going to be a good time. So if anybody's around, come say hi. And it's definitely going to be a good time. Wesley's saying Sunday will be awesome. Hopefully it helps you fund the Tales of Suspense 39. Dude, I cannot wait to have that book in my hands because I'll probably be doing the unboxing, and it'll literally be like a 10-minute like crying video of me just with the book. Like that's pretty much all the thing would be. So Mississippian, Mississauga. Come on now.
Same thing.
Cool. I'll see you there, bro. RP, can't wait. Mr. Although I got to text you. Actually, I've been trying to text you for the last 2 days and I keep forgetting, so I apologize. But what is going on, man? How you doing? It's been a while since we chatted. I owe you a beer, by the way. I'm seriously rooting for Newbie to finally land his Tales of Suspense 39. I know, Dan. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make my avatar a picture of me crying with that book in my hand, just like you. So Can't
You
wait.
should make Dan holding a picture of you holding your TOS.
That's what I think I might do.
Yeah.
All right. It's that time of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Newbie, what are you doing? Newbie, wait. Newbie, put the gun down. Newbie. No. Wait, newbie, wait. I thought you said the show was going to be a 7 out of 10. Newbie, I thought you said the show was going to be good. Newbie, overall, you said it was going to be a 7 out of 10. Newbie, do you still like this show? Newbie, the last 2 weeks have been 3.5 and 3. Newbie, don't hate. Newbie, they're going a different way. Newbie, it's a different genre. Shut the fuck up. Please stop bugging me. It's my opinion. Please. Oh my God. Every time I watch the show, every time I talk about She-Hulk, I have these people just fucking blowing me up. Listen, I like having conversation 100%, but my God, I'm allowed not to like things. Guess what? If you're going to make a comment on one of my posts about the show, please read the whole post. Don't just read, oh, he gave it 3 out of 10. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. If you read the one from last week or 2 weeks ago and last week, yes, did I give them low scores? 100%. They were terrible. They were just fillers. I understand why this is a 9-episode show now, but this essentially could be a 4 to 5 episode show. Essentially, because if you take away or add those 3 episodes to other episodes, you got a good show. You built really great story and a really great origin story in episodes 1 and 2. 3, I was like, 4, 5. Okay, what are we doing? And then episode 6 really was like, really? I could care less about Daredevil not showing up. Like I said, it's not a Daredevil show. It is a She-Hulk show. If you're waiting for Daredevil, then just wait for the Daredevil show or movie or whatever the fuck they're doing with them. Don't wait for the show. Here's my problem. I still think this is a good show. I really do. It's just that the last 2 weeks, I get excited. I get home from work and I'm like, okay, She-Hulk time. And I've just been disappointed, right? Because it's a filler. There's no action. It's this, it's that. So it's whatever. Titania, I still don't think is the main villain. Realistically, we kind of got that in the end credit, right? Some people have been like kind of like not hating, but sending me a message like, dude, if you're going to post something, post it properly. Titania is the villain. It's like, no, it's not, because we're episode 6 and she's only been in the show for like a minute and a half. Okay. So if she's going to get punched and she loses her tooth and then she cries and that's it for her, that's not a fucking villain. Just saying. Go back to the post. At the end, I always say, I still think this is a 6.5 at this moment right now. I still think the show is a 6.5 out of 10. I really do. And I get heated for this because people only see, oh, he gave it 3 out of 10. Well, no, read. If you're going to make a comment, like go read, see what I'm saying. I really do think that this is a 6 out of 10 show. I do like it. It's just the episode itself sucked. What are your thoughts, Greg? I'm sorry I went heated there. It's just, this is what I got to deal with on a weekly basis when I put these freaking ratings out.
I just don't know what I'd rather. If I'd rather like a compact 5 or 4 episode and just get pure thriller, or do I want something every week? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, do you want that big gap between shows, or do you just want like a little taste? And I think they might just be trying to close that gap so people don't lose interest. I also think this episode paves the way for something more. And I know we were talking about it in our chat with the Great Lakes Avengers, Mr. Impossible. So if I have the story correct, I believe the Great Lake Avengers were just like a bunch of people who had superpowers who got together. I believe Mr. or what's his name? Mr. Impossible, right?
Yeah.
Where he can't die. So I believe what happened in the story was all the people around him who he loved started to die and he became very lonely. And he took up this crime fighting persona or whatever with these other people, and they were under the name the Great Lakes Avengers. But then the Avengers found out and they were like, you're operating under our name, and the story kind of played out from there. So I'm wondering if that'll take place, where they pretend to be the Avengers and she has to tell them that they're not the Avengers. But we're running out of episodes and there's probably a lot of content to come.
Yeah. I just think the biggest flaw of this is from our community, not the show itself. I just think the community has lost its way and doesn't understand that it is a She-Hulk show. the past 2 weeks, everyone who has talked to me, and again, a lot of people on the West Coast watch it earlier than East Coast. And when I got home the last 2 weeks, I kind of had to work overtime, so I didn't get home until like 9 instead of 4. So a lot of people had already watched and like, Noob, did you see it? Oh my God, and Daredevil didn't show up. And it was literally, I look back at the conversations, and all these people are doing is going back and back and back on the fact Daredevil's not in it. But it's not a Daredevil show. It's a She-Hulk show. It's not about the genre about Daredevil. It is a genre about women and She-Hulk. So I don't understand it. The same people that are like, Noob, you can't hate Moon Knight. They're trying to do a different genre and they're doing this and they're doing that. You have to accept it. And like you just got to look at it this way. 100%. I just didn't like Moon Knight. But those same people are like, oh, this is garbage. Well, wait a minute. Whoa. Don't throw the stone at the glass house. This is the same thing that they did with Moon Knight. It might not be for you. You might not like it, but it's a different genre. They're trying to catch different people. They don't have to catch you and me. You and me are going to watch this if it's animated, if it's stupid, if it's women only, if it's literally just 4 superhero women on a talk show. Say whatever you want. You're going to watch it. Why? Because we like superheroes. We like Marvel. We like DC.
We're already hooked.
Exactly. They're not trying to hook us. They're trying to hook those other people, kids, females, all of that. All those people they're trying to get. How do they do that? Well, they can't really do that with Iron Man, Captain America, Avengers. They did. It kind of like caught their eye, but to get that second look, they got to, get something for everybody. And that's what people don't understand. I don't mind what they're doing. I see what they're doing. I just hope that there's a reason for these 3 slow episodes. And I just hope that people can see, oh, wait, yeah, it's She-Hulk. It's not Daredevil. So stop praying and hoping that Daredevil's going to come and change the story or whatever. Daredevil's probably going to show up for like 25 seconds. That's it.
I wonder if like that's what Wolverine's going to be like in Deadpool, just like teasing that he's going to be in it, and then
don't say that, man. I'm trying to sell my Hulk 181 right now. Don't say that, please.
And it's just going to be him in the exact same thing, just walking past the camera, and that's it.
So yeah, well, do you have any expectations? I know at the beginning of the show we kind of talked about, kind of dark horse characters that we would see, or like where you would see this show. I still think that there's like a deeper meaning to this show. Obviously, it's going to connect down the road, but I don't know, man. I think people are very harsh on the fact that it's like Miss Marvel and She-Hulk have taken a beating, and it's like, why? Because they're females? Like, get over yourself.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any sleepers. Not at the top of my head. I'd love to see some Savage She-Hulk stuff, but I don't. I'm enjoying it. It is what it is. It's not blowing me away, but if you're looking for action and things blowing up, like, go watch Avengers movies or an Iron Man movie, it's, and like I said, a lot of people hated on WandaVision too, right? And it really turned around. Yeah.
We got 3 episodes. Anything could happen, but yeah, I don't know. I think we got to stop with this. What's it called? Persona or perception of like, oh, it's like a female lead, so like it's gonna be shit. I mean, I enjoyed Miss Marvel. I'm enjoying this. I just wish the episodes were longer and like the fillers were kind of just like in the other ones. I'm okay with this being 4 or 5 episodes.
Our expectations too are so big, whereas we have so much now, then we take it for granted, right? If this was the 100%. Only thing that ever came out, people would be like, "Oh, that's pretty cool,"
People forget, man. Before COVID, it was literally 3 movies per year. That's it.
And even think before Iron Man, people were like, "Yeah, those X-Men movies were pretty good."
Yeah,
but it's just
But I always try to remind people, and we've talked about it many times in the past, where it's like, okay, go back to before COVID. And I know that they, even before COVID, said, hey, this is what's going to happen. But before COVID, it was 3 movies a year. When you wanted to watch a sequel, it wasn't like that sequel, like Iron Man 2 would come out the next year. Like you had to wait almost like 2, maybe 3 years to like actually get it. And then people started thinking, oh, shoot, or realizing, oh, we have to connect all these. And then like going back to watch it. But there was more excitement. There was more, emphasis on like expectations or Spec or just like, I don't know, the excitement. The Spec is great. Go ahead.
I think it was Guardians of the Galaxy that did it, to be honest, with like the Rocket Raccoon book that kind of came out of nowhere. It was a $3 book, and all of a sudden people were making $50, $60 off this book that they could go out and find in the back bins. And I think it really changed the market, and people started buying and speculating. They started selling more new comic books. So I think they realized like that 2 to 3, well, they can really maximize that if they make it an ongoing, continuing thing. But you can have too much of a good thing. But just pick and choose, you know? Don't burn yourself out. Don't make it like a chore. If you don't want to watch it right away, like don't have that FOMO. I think people have this FOMO and it becomes like a chore to watch these right away and to get in the loop. Don't make it like that. Find a time, sit back and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah. Sorry, I just want to correct myself if it came out that way. I can barely watch these last 3 episodes because I feel like they should be added to some of the other episodes to make the episode a bit more. Let's be real. They're 30 minutes. I think one episode is 26 minutes if you take away all the credits and all that jazz. And the show has kind of had you like, oh shit, that's it. Like that's the end of it. So I don't know. It's just a filler. I like the show. It's not going to always be action packed and this and that. They have to go different genres. So it is what it is. And like I said, for 6 weeks now, I would still let She-Hulk take me to bed. Just saying. I would. Just would. All right, Greg. We do not have a slide for the news that happened just before we went on live, but let's touch on it just a little bit before we get off. I posted it on my Instagram. Big shout outs to Blakk Crown because he was the first one to send it to us and we were talking about it. And then it kind of just exploded everywhere. If you're looking for a Hulk 181 7.0, let me know because I got mine and I'm selling it. But Deadpool, Wolverine, is it something? Is it nothing? What are your thoughts? Is it just a multiverse? Is it just a cameo? Is it one of those things where Deadpool's like, hey, and then it's just Hugh Jackman for a second? Like multiverse? Because let's be real, they can't really use these characters until 2025. So what's the deal here? Do you think it's real? Something, nothing? Or are we just making this shit up because it's Ryan Reynolds?
It's something, I think. I think it makes sense to introduce Wolverine in that movie. What's interesting to me is Hugh Jackman to me is Wolverine. Like that's who the actor should be. I think he does the best. But I don't know how much longer Hugh Jackman has, unless they go to like an Old Man Logan kind of storyline at some point.
He's dead. He's dead. He died. Spoiler. Sorry, I should have said spoiler. He's dead. He died. So let me give people who are watching this maybe now on the rewind later in the future. If you find this in the year 4027 and you're like, comic book, let me look. Wolverine, dead. Iron Man, too soon, but he's dead. Black Widow, dead. They're not coming back, people. So let's get over it. Let's move on. Mainly because I'm probably gonna cry. But he's dead. How are we gonna go back? It's like Extraction 2 with Chris Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth died in Extraction 1, but they're doing it in Extraction 2. Totally lost. Don't understand the concept. I'm very confused by that. But
so my thoughts with that too are like, okay, so if they've recast Hugh Jackman and not like a younger person, does that mean they're gonna have to go X-23 soon? Because
don't say that. I have a Hulk 181. Please don't say that, Greg.
But I mean for a while, right? Like I think, but that's still the first Wolverine. She's just the new Wolverine. Do you know what I mean? In that all new Wolverine series. So I think you're gonna change mantles, but that's still like the first Iron Man. Like the fact that Riri's coming out doesn't change that, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I think X-23 is going to be a bit of a sleeper here, long-term play. That Wolverine 88, their first meeting, is going to be a pretty hot book for a while. There's another couple books later in the run, in the Wolverine run, with Deadpool and Wolverine, and I think those are like, I don't know, long shots. I could see a little bit of fire happening with them, but don't expect them to hold on to any sort of value moving forward. We forget a lot of stuff real quick. So once you start getting into like second meetups and stuff like that, you really get diluted. So be careful out there.
Yeah. I do like some of the comments and big shout outs to Swaggle House. He's in the house, man. What is going on, Mickey? No introduction there. I mean, if you don't know who Swaggle House is, you're missing out, or you were just coming home from Mars, but make sure to go check him out. Great friend of the channel. Basically talk to him pretty much every day. But yeah, make sure you guys go check him out. But he had a good point, and we were actually talking about this in a group chat that I'm involved with him. But you know, he's really into the idea that, you know, he's alive in the multiverse, though I think Jackman is going to be in the Deadpool / Secret Wars. I think you have to start looking forward to 2024. I know people are like, well, no, we're 2022. Hold on a second. It's October on Monday. So realistically, I mean, we have 3 months left in this year, and then we're 2023. We're a year away from 2024. Yes, I'm showing off my math skills and the fact I know the year, but 2025, have it circled because that is when those X-Men, what do you call them? They can use the names. They can use that. So essentially, we can't use X-Men until 2025. Right? Yeah, the trademark. So we'll see where it is, but I don't know. I mean, Greg, let's be honest. We've talked about it. Everybody's probably talked about it on some platform, message, YouTube channel, TikTok, OnlyFans, whatever. Multiverse. Any character could show up. Any version of the character could show up. We have so many variants. Hugh Jackman, possibly just a 2-second cameo, a 2-minute cameo, maybe just a cardboard of it. Something, nothing, short-term, long-term. I mean, I don't know. I think they have to touch on it to kind of go full circle. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much it.
Yeah, I don't think the news is that Wolverine is coming because, like I said, that's inevitable. I think the news is that Hugh Jackman is coming back.
Right. You have to do this when you say that word. Just there you go. Perfect. You did great. You did great. We have 2 years for that FOMO. Money to grow on that Wolvie 88. What is Wolvie 88?
That's the one where he's holding Deadpool as kind of a negative space.
Okay.
Yeah.
I literally, because I was just thinking Hulk 181, so I apologize. Didn't Deadpool have the time machine thing at the end of Deadpool 2 so you can just find Wolverine in a different timeline? It's true. Yeah, I'm waiting for it to pop and then ditch. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get rid of my GSX1 and my Hulk 181. So if anybody knows anybody, hit me up on IG because I do want to get my Tales of Suspense 39. Greg, great show, man. We did it without BC. No hiccups, no, name butchering or anything like that. But thanks for
not that we know of. We'll find out in the comments later.
Yeah, we'll probably know. Big news, obviously. No, not the Deadpool. No, not the Wolverine. But Mr. Rocksteady is officially on YouTube. So, Greg, where can the people find you? You gotta kind of add to your little story here. But where can the people find you and let them know what you are doing?
Rocksteady Collectibles on Instagram. Rocksteady Collectibles on YouTube. Rocksteady Collects on Whatnot. Nothing happening there lately, but hopefully soon. But yeah, hope to see you all soon.
And for me, guys, you guys already know we're doing shows Tuesday. No more Sunday because Sunday should be just football time. But no, in essence, I don't have the time to do both shows. I will be posting some videos, and I do have some stuff coming with Mr. Blakk Crown Comics that we have coming. Probably around November, we're going to kind of start putting it out. But we do have something coming. So that's going to be kind of put on display for Sundays, and then we're going to do our live shows on Tuesdays. So it's going to be a good time. It's fun. So I thank everybody for hanging out. Good luck tomorrow on New Comic Book Day. Hold on. Swag's got a comment here. Since everyone is trying to sell 181 right now, that's obviously because they are keeping their 180s, the Clear Keeper book of the two.
And with that, we're out of here.
Swag, come on, man. I'm trying to sell a book here. Come on. With that,
just get on him that Marvel Age is the first appearance of Darkhawk.
Yeah, whatever Greg said. With that, guys, make sure to follow Newbie Comics on Instagram and Rocksteady Collectibles on all platforms, including YouTube now. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. We'll see you again next Tuesday. And if anyone has a Tales of Suspense 39, they want to make a trade, hit me up. Dan, any last words, Greg?
That's it. Take care, everyone.
Check me out on Sunday, Mississauga Show with Rocksteady. Let's go.
Or Just Cruise.
Just cruise.